working now. Have you told him that it's working? Yeah. Okay, good, good. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਜੀ Firstly, apologies, technical difficulties, computer the problem, but it's all sorted now. So मैं बस पंजाबी विच नाल इंग्लिश विच मैं मिक्स च गल करूँगा. Okay. ਅੱਜ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੁਲਾਇਆ ਸੀ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰਨੀ ਅੱਜ. ਇੱਕ ਇੱਕ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਪਿਕਚਰ ਦਿਖਾਣੀ ਸੀ ਪਰ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਪੈ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਇੱਥੇ. ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਰਾਜ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਲੈਮਿੰਗਟਨ ਸਪਾ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ. ਅੱਜ ਮੈਂ ਆਇਆ ਮੰਮੀ ਡੈਡੀ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ. ਇਹ ਨਾਲੇ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਸੁਣਨੀ ਇੱਥੇ. In 2008 ਮੇਰਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ. ਉਹ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਪਿਕਚਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਮਰਤ ਕੌਰ. 2008 ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੀ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਲੈਮਿੰਗਟਨ. ਐਂਡ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਿਲੇ ਸੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਉਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਸ਼ੌਪ 'ਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੀ ਸੀ. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੁੜੀ ਪਸੰਦ ਆ ਗਈ ਸੀ. ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਗੁਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ. ਫਿਰ ਬਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਰੈਂਡ we became friends and then we just got to know each other. But over time ਮੈਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਮੈਨਚੈਸਟਰ ਪੜ੍ਹਦਾ ਸੀ. ਕੀਲ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਸੀ. ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੈਨਚੈਸਟਰ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ. ਉਹ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਡਰ ਗਈ. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ? ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ become a couple. ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਠੀਕ ਆ. ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਮੰਮੀ ਡੈਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਾਮਾ ਪਾਪਾ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਤਾ. ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਮੰਮੀ ਡੈਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਤਾ. And then when we were 24 ਸਾਡਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. And then 2009 we had our first daughter Naveen over there. Naveen, put your hand up. Naveen. And then we had Avani, and then we had Viren. March 2017, ਅਸੀਂ ਟੇਬਲ 'ਤੇ ਡਿਨਰ 'ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੋਟੀ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਸੀ. ਉਹਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੋ ਬੁੜਕਾ ਖਾ ਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਦਰਦ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਇੱਥੇ. ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ? ਠੀਕ ਹੈ? She said, yeah, I'm fine. There's nothing to worry about. It was very painful eating. But it happened for about 2 weeks. ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਦੀ ਅਪੋਇੰਟਮੈਂਟ ਬਣਾ. ਉਹਨੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਦੀ ਅਪੋਇੰਟਮੈਂਟ ਬਣਾਈ. ਡਾਕਟਰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਤਾਂ ਐਸਿਡ ਰੀਫਲਕਸ ਆ. ਸਾਰਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਦਾ ਐਸਿਡ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਖਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ. But that lasted for 3-4 months. She couldn't eat anything. It got to a point that she couldn't eat the top layer of a toast. So it was very, very painful. ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਜਾਣਾ ਪਿਆ. She went again. ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ. ਜਦੋਂ ਮਾਰਚ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਆਈ ਸੀ ਭਾਰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਸੀ. ਹੁਣ ਇੱਦਾਂ. ਉਹਦਾ ਭਾਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਉਹਦਾ. ਫਿਰ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨੇ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਡਰ ਗਏ ਸੀ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ alright, this is very serious. ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਰੈਫਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ to the consultant at the hospital. ਉਹ ਕੰਸਲਟੈਂਟ ਬਹੁਤ ਟੈਸਟ ਕੀਤੇ. did biopsies, MRI scans, did everything. Nothing came up. It's just in December 2017 ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਹੋਰ ਬਾਇਓਪਸੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ. ਉਹ ਢਿੱਡ ਦੀ ਬਾਇਓਪਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਚੈੱਕ ਕੀਤਾ. This was just before Christmas, and then during Christmas time family got together. And then I remember ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਡੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਿਲ ਦੀ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਆ ਸੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਵਸੀਤ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਟਰਸਟ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ. ਪਰ ਉਹਦਾ ਸ਼ੌਂਕ ਹੈਗਾ ਸੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਵਾਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੇਕਅਪ ਦਾ ਮਹਿੰਦੀ ਦਾ. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ. This was New Year's Eve, midnight. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕੀਤੀ. I want to treat myself to a nice Range Rover Evoque. ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, that's fine. This is on January the 1st. On January the 3rd we got a call to say you need to come to the hospital. So we went on January the 5th. Doctor sat us down and they said we've got the results from the biopsy. Unfortunately, you got stomach cancer. That your life is cut short. No treatment is ever going to get rid of it. ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਰੋਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਈ. ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ it's all right, it's okay, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ. फिर डॉक्टर ने सारा समझाया कहंदी what the next step is. Then फिर जो साडी अपॉइंटमेंट फिनिश हो गई असी गड्डी च बह गए सी फिर मैं क्या एक मिनट ते ठहरी फिर मैं दोबारा गया सी डॉक्टर ने पूछा मैं क्या डॉक्टर तुसी कहा सी that her life is cut short. What do you mean by that? How long has she got left? The doctor said, are you sure you want to know? I said, yeah, tell me. And she's probably got about 18 months to 2 years left. I was like, okay. So I went back to the car, sat next to her, and she goes, what did you ask? I said, I just want to know, I was unclear about the part of the next process, so I just wanted to ask her a question. She knew I wasn't telling the truth. So again, all the dard hundi si jo khandi si kendi assi chemotherapy karni hai par tera bhar bahut ghat hai. She was about 42 kilos. So her weight was very, very low. So again, jo jid hun tera kha nahi hunda, we have to make a small incision in the small bowels, and then you have to be fed liquid food every night for 10 hours. So you start the machine, say, at 7 o'clock in the evening, and then 5 o'clock, you turn the machine off. That's the only way your weight is going to increase. Then, ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ chemotherapy. All procedure went very, very well. ਉਹਦਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਭਾਰ ਵੱਧ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ. ਡਾਕਟਰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਚਲੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਦਿਨ ਅਸੀਂ chemotherapy ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ chemotherapy ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਸ bad cell ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨਾਲ good cell ਉਹ ਦੋਨੇ ਮਾਰਦੇ ਆ. ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਾ ਵਾਲ ਲੱਥਦੇ ਆ ਪਰ ਉਹਦੀ ਡਿਊਟੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਸੀ ਜੋਬ ਸੀ ਦਾ ਵਾਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੇਕਅਪ ਦਾ ਮਹਿੰਦੀ ਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਦੁੱਖ ਲੱਗਣਾ ਸੀ ਫਿਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਂ ਆਹ ਕੀਮੋਥੈਰੇਪੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਟ੍ਰੀਟਮੈਂਟ ਆ it's called immunotherapy which targets just the bad cells and that was in Nottingham so we live in Leamington so it's about an hour and 50 hour and 20 minutes away ਉੱਥੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ yeah everything's fine but ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆ ਬਸ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੈਂਪਲ ਆ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਭੇਜਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਉਹ ਭੇਜਦਾ ਸੈਂਪਲ 2 ਦਿਨ ਬਾਅਦ 'ਚ ਕੰਸਲਟੈਂਟ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਆਇਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨਿਮਰ ਦੀ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਾਪਸੀ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਭੇਜੀ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲ ਗਈ we were like what Dear Baba Ji, ਅਸੀਂ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਦੇ, you know, he's finally answered our prayers, you know. So we was like, what? ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ yeah, ਉਹ ਬਾਇਓਪਸੀ ਉਹ ਸੈਂਪਲ ਭੇਜੀ ਸੀ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਟੈਸਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਨਿਮਰ ਤੋਂ ਫਟਾਫਟ ਉੱਪਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਆਹ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਮੰਮੀ ਡੈਡ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਮੰਮੀ ਡੈਡ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਫਿਰ we really, really happy. Next day ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਫੇਰ ਫੋਨ ਆਇਆ ਕੰਸਲਟੈਂਟ ਦਾ I was like, hello? She's like, hi. ਉਹ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਿਹਾ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਬੋਲਦੀ ਸੀ Is everything okay? ਕਹਿੰਦੀ unfortunately the sample that we sent didn't have the cancer cell so that's why it came up as it didn't have any cancer. I was like, right, what now? They said we have to take another biopsy with the cancer and we have to send that. I was like, 1 minute ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ cancer, ਦੂਜੀ ਮਿੰਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ cancer ਗਿਆ and now they made a mistake. What am I supposed to tell her? How am I supposed to tell Nim that they messed up? They told us that the cancer had gone, but really it didn't go anywhere. They messed up. So I thought I need to compose myself. I need to go and tell her. And then I told her, and then she just needed time to herself. And then again, I told my parents, I told her family. That was a very, very hard thing to do. And then from there, we wanted to start the immunotherapy process, but there was a blockage in her liver. At Nottingham Hospital, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਬਸ liver ਦਾ blockage ਆ ਉਹ ਬਸ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗੰਦ ਪਿਆ ਉਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੱਢਣਾ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੀਜਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੀਜਰ ਬਸ 10 ਮਿੰਟ ਲੱਗਣੇ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਗਲਤ ਕਰਤਾ ਸੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕੱਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਗਲਤ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਜ਼ਹਿਰ ਬਣਿਆ ਸੀ ਲਿਵਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਬਾਡੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ Nimmer de outside the but yeah. I've seen her give birth 3 times, and it's very painful. But this, seeing that poison go into her body, was something else. I've never, ever seen her like that, and I felt very, very helpless, very helpless. I was like, doctor, that mistake है. फिर जो procedure हो गया, कोई bed नहीं है किसी. For कहते जिथे in the labour ward, you got to go there. So we were there, you know, with women giving birth in the next room. Then we looked at the drug card. The doctor didn't put any drugs or any medicine on the card, so she had to wait 4 or 5 hours without any medication just to control that pain. I felt really, really, really helpless. I was like, how can you mess this up? It's simple to you guys. Can you not see that she's already in enough pain going through the cancer, mentally, physically, and now we've got to deal with this on top of that. So we found the night shift doctor. He prescribed the medication, which was very, very traumatic to see your wife go through that. Next day, they said, she's okay, she can go home. We were like, really? You know, she just had a very traumatic time with this operation, which went wrong, you know, and now you're saying that she can go home. They were like, yeah, she's fine. I looked at her, she looked at me, she's like, I'm not fine. But the doctor was insistent that she goes home. So we travelled all the way back to Leamington. She's probably there for 12 hours. The pain came back, so we had to get all the way back to Nottingham again. It was to and from going in hospital, back home. She was probably in and out of hospital for about maybe 4 months. So you can imagine, we've got 3 children. Naveen at the time was 8 years old. Avani was 5 years old, and we've got little Vera in there. He was 3 years old. You know, oh, butcher this, Sadi market here, or hospital, why is she there? Why can't she take us to school? So I was split between staying at home and hospital. So it was all shift work, you know. It was like we had to make sure the kids were taken care of. She was taken care of. So again, it was just on the motorway, lots of journeys, and making sure the kids had that time with her as well. So there were lots of FaceTimes with her. They did go and see her, but you imagine 1 minute, mummy sari theek hai, and the next minute, hospital bed here, you know, losing all that weight. I mean, I can't imagine what they were going through and what they thought. You can see the picture on the bottom left. That was Naveen's 9th birthday. That was our last ever family photo. That was our last ever family photo. And you can see from the picture on the right that how healthy Nim looked. You know, she's getting ready, you know, for a wedding. To the picture on the left, how she looked. This is what cancer does to you. Then obviously at the picture at the top, she's in her gown, and she's trying to be all brave and strong, you know, for me, for the children, for her parents, for everyone around her. But it was quite scary. So they sent her, her temperatures kept fluctuating up to 43 degrees, down to 38. They couldn't control the temperatures. So we said we want to be closer to home. It's having an impact on the children. So they moved her to Coventry Hospital, which is only 20 minutes away. Even they couldn't fix her. And the consultant there, the first day Nim was admitted to hospital, the consultant looked at the notes, looked at her, looked at the notes, and said, do you know you've only got 12 months left to live? And I was like, she didn't just say that, did she? And Nim looked at her and said, I'll fight this. I will fight this. So I kept it in. I didn't tell anyone that when I was told she had 12 months, 18 months to 2 years. This is the first time Nim knew how many days, how many weeks, how many months she had left. 12 months. But she said, I'm going to fight this. Again, her temperatures fluctuating, up, down. The kids would come and visit. It really, really does take its toll on you. And when you're running a business, you're self-employed, you don't get any benefits. I can't just say, you know what, my wife's got cancer, I need to take some time off. I can't claim any benefits, and I was like, right, I need to earn, I need to provide for the children, but I need to be there for her as well. So I'm pulled in all different directions. And then it got to a point when the consultant turned round to her and said, there's nothing we can do, you are going home to die. I was like, seriously, this consultant, she's literally just so blunt, telling it how it is. She goes, we can't do anything. She was very insistent and pushing us to put her in a hospice. We were like, no, she's coming home. She has spent so much time away from the children, she's going to spend her last days, weeks, whatever it might be, with the children at home. And all I remember is going home, explaining to Nim's family, this is what's happening. She is going to be sent home, but she's coming home to die. I said, please, please do not cry in front of her. If you're going to do it, just do it to the side, not in front of her. And then all I remember is that these ambulance taxis where it's a big ambulance and they'll just drop you off at home, and she came in a bed. I looked at her, everybody else, just look, don't, please be strong for her. They wheeled her in, we transferred her onto her own hospital bed that we got sent at home, just made her comfortable. She knew what was happening. She knew what was happening, but the children were all at home. And then, you okay, V? You all right? This is the first time he's hearing this. So it was the last few weeks, she came withdrawn. She tried to disconnect herself to all of us, to the children especially, to the children, to me. I knew what was going on in her head. It was tough to see. Her mum was saying, come on, Nim, come and give your children a hug. But she just wouldn't, because she'd given birth to these 3 children, and in her head is like, how can I give them so much attention? How can I give them so much love now, knowing that I am going to leave this earth, going to leave them behind? And so that was very, very tough for all of us to deal with. But for us, it was just mental pain. Orderly that it was physical and mental pain. So she was dealing with the cancer, she was dealing with everything. For us, it was just mental. But it got to the point where her breathing went very, very shallow and very, very long. Like, and that was when we knew that the time was going to come. And at 11:30 on the 19th of September, at night time, is when she took her last breath. And she had gone. The children were obviously upstairs asleep. And, throughout the whole thing, they saw her mum very healthy and deteriorating over time. So I had to tell them. I said, look, Mummy's not well, the doctors are trying to fix her, but, there could be a chance that she could go to Babaji in the sky. And obviously 11:30 that night, Babaji took her. The next morning, Naveen came down, and she said, when you walk down to the bottom of the stairs, the room is right there, and you can see Nim lying there, watching TV, eating, whatever. They came downstairs to an empty room. Where's Mummy? I was like, Mummy's now gone with Babaji in the sky. I've seen Naveen ran back upstairs, slammed the bedroom door, and she sat on the floor. And I wanted to hug her and say, it's going to be okay. But that would have been a lie. I didn't know how I was going to deal with it. So I just hugged her. Avani comes down, looks in the room, empty bed. Where's Mummy? I said, Avani, Mummy's now with Babaji in the sky. And she goes into the other room, puts the TV on. How did Mummy go? I said, well, Babaji said, Mummy, come on, it's time for you to come up now. But before you go, come and give your kids a kiss goodnight. So then Avani, Mummy gave you a kiss, and then she flew to Babaji in the sky. She's looking at the TV and she goes, Daddy? I was like, yeah. Can we FaceTime Mummy? I was like, no. I said, Mummy's phone is just right there. She's left it here, we can't FaceTime her. So then I just gave her a hug. I just burst into tears. And then we have Viren, 3 years old, comes down. Where's Mummy? Why is Mummy not here? I was like, B, Mummy's now gone. Babaji in the sky. Walks over to the window, looks up. Mummy, where are you? Come down, I miss you. Come down, Mummy. 34 days straight, he was saying, where's Mummy? I want Mummy. Why are you not here? 34 days straight. Then obviously we have to do preparations for the funeral. Family were coming, it was, for me, I just turned into a robot. I didn't show any emotion. I had to be strong for them. I had to be strong for myself. I had to be strong for everyone around me. I didn't show any emotion. And all I remember, my mum tapping me on the back and saying, look, why don't you cry as well? And I said, I physically cannot cry. I cannot do it. You can see the picture right in the middle and the one on the right. That's the one of her coffin. Who would have thought I was 34 years old, standing like this, and my wife's coffin right there, giving a eulogy, saying, I can't believe I'm giving a talk. I cannot believe I'm giving a talk about at my wife's funeral. And all that time I had Viren in my hands because he wouldn't go to anyone. So I was holding him throughout the whole funeral. I think it was probably the biggest funeral Leamington had ever seen. There's about 1,500 people there. I thought, this is where it starts now. This is where it starts. My life as a mum and dad starts here. She died on the 19th of September. Her funeral was on the 27th of September, and it was her birthday on the 29th of September. So you can see the photo at the bottom. We celebrated her birthday. We were told, Nate, the birthday nahi manana. I said, I said, we are doing it. I said, I said, we're going to invite family round, we're going to celebrate her birthday. This is what we do. And Naveen still says it's one of the best birthdays that she's been to. And I don't have any regrets. In a split second, look at that. We're a family of 5, now gone to a family of 4. This is what life does to you. It can take anyone away from you. Anyone away from you. This is why you should always be ready for death. We should always be prepared. Pata nahi kado kisne jana. Assi sare jidda queue vich khade a. The person in front might be 84 years old. The person behind might be 4 years old. The person behind there might be 2 weeks old. It's what it says in our Sikhis that we're all going to go one day. So be ready. Be prepared. For a short while, we would just point at the sky and say, look, we love you, Mummy, we miss you, Mummy. And this is where the term came from, always 5. So I've got always 5 tattooed there. I said, no matter what, it is going to be always us 5. So what does grief do to you? So when a loved one passes away, it's just not emotional or mental health. It really affects you physically. When she was going through that period of fighting the cancer, I hit the gym hard. I hit the gym hard, and I hit the bottle hard. I thought, I need to cope with this. How can I cope with her illness? Chalo asi gym children, and at the same time, jo sare songe. At night time, I would have some wine, I would have some vodka, whatever it might be. That was my way of dealing with it. But it affects you physically as well as mentally. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it says the grief of losing a spouse. I don't like to use the word lose, of loss to loved one or loss of life. When you lose something, there's a chance you might find it or it might come back. Not when somebody dies. When somebody dies, they've gone. They're never ever going to come back. It's a shock, it's a denial. Some family members, they were in shock that she had gone. 34 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਸੀ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਲੈ ਗਏ ਕਿਉਂ ਲੈ ਗਏ that's not fair ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਛੋਟੇ ਛੋਟੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਆ ਅਸਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਿੱਕੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ you're going to come and you're going to go we have no control over that ਬੰਦਾ depression ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਚਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ it gets very lonely so there were times where I would come back from work shared die bed utte bas bed te nimmer de side te rakhne se I'd do that and after a few days it will pile up fir jodon main sona hai when I go to bed at night I'd pull the rajai across just getting that feeling that she was still there because the weight of my clothes will bring the duvet down so it's just that when I'd pull the duvet I'd be like she's still there but really she wasn't there it was just me by myself. So this is what grief does to you. But you have to accept that this person is never, ever, ever, ever coming back. Saadi life taale chaldi hai, meri life te chaldi hai. Time doesn't stop for anyone. You know, I still have to carry on. I still have to take care of the children. You know, I had to do the washing, the cleaning, take them to school, bathe them, do the homework with them, dress them. I still have to do that, whereas everybody else, they just go. They just go and carry on with their own lives. But it also just has an impact. You start doing wrong things, you make mistakes, and I've made lots of mistakes in business, especially. I went straight back to work, I just wasn't ready. But my way, jidda hon oh chal gayi. We had just celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary in August 2017. 6 weeks later, she passed away. So I didn't have that companion to share my life. Oh, I've just finished at a gym, I'm going to go past Asda, Tesco, do you want anything? So my way of releasing what I was thinking was through my laptop. So I wrote a couple of articles on LinkedIn and it got just under 1 million views. Because I was just open and honest, you know, and hence why I'm standing here today, sharing my story. So if you are on LinkedIn, have a look at these, because I've written about what I've learned, what I've been through over the last, few years. And just some of them are prepare for the worst, expect the best. Yes, doctor can see operation karna, but she might pass away or it might go wrong. Prepare for the worst, but expect the best. Mental toughness, this is something everyone needs to work on. Because nowadays, especially after COVID, it's had a massive impact on your mental health. So I didn't get any counselling. This is just from reading books, YouTube videos, through the gym, running, lifting heavy weights, boxing. That's the way I've dealt with it. Make time for yourself. That's very important. Regardless if you're going through something or not, always make time for yourself, because if I didn't make time for myself, how could I look after the children? I often get asked about people making a decision. I'm stuck in this job, the money's good, but I'm not happy. Okay, you were given 2 years left to live, what would you do? I've quit. There's your answer. We don't know when we're going to go. We can go anytime. So always ask yourself, okay, life is short. Should I quit my job? Should I quit this or should I go for it? Life is short. People ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਾੜਾ ਹੋਇਆ 34 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਸੀ ਬੱਚੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਛੋਟੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਮੰਨਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਉਹ ਇਜ਼ਰਾਈਲ ਤੇ ਗਾਜ਼ਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ. Look at the small babies that are getting bombed. Hospitals, schools are getting bombed. You know, look at that. I'm in a very fortunate position. So if you compare that to that, that's what got me through. There's always somebody worse off. ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਬੱਚੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਾਂ ਚਲ ਗਈ, ਕੀ ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ? Memories, photos, videos. So always take lots of photos, take lots of videos, because that is what your loved ones are going to look at after you've gone. And don't save anything for a special occasion, because that special occasion might never, ever come. I briefly mentioned this earlier. You realise who is there for you and who isn't when you're in a dark place. I needed people there for me, but after the funeral, they all left. So I had to deal with it myself. Right now, I can say I have 0 friends. I see them at the gym, it's just a hi-bye. I see them at football training, it's just a hi-bye. And I've gone past that stage where I don't care anymore. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me. But hey, that's life. I've got my family here, and that's the main thing. Everyone leaves you alone after the funeral, and it's okay to break down and cry. I'm not sure, you probably can't read that, but this is our first Christmas without Nim, and Naveen, again, she was 9 years old at the time, and I said, what do you want for Christmas? And she wrote, Dear Santa, what I want for Christmas the most is something even you couldn't do, but anything like this I would want. I want my mummy back. If you can't do that, then I'll just have my family. This picture here is when Viren was 3 years old, dropping him off at school, dropped Avani off on the playground. Viren's class was just at the bottom. And I thought he was behind me. So I turned around, I saw Viren, and he was there with his umbrella. It was October time. You can see the leaves. I thought, that's a nice picture. I took a picture, and he came running over to me. He's like, Daddy, Daddy. I was like, yeah? He goes, when's Mummy coming back? I was like, why has he said that? He was watching the other children giving hugs to their mummy, and he was just there, dazing, thinking, I really want my mummy now. And I just fell to my knees, and I just hugged him, and I cried. And I thought, I don't care who's watching me. Don't care who's watching me. And this is what he was feeling at that point. Videos, photos, memories, that's what's left. I'm not sure if this is going to play or if you can see. Right. So this is Nim at a wedding party dressed up as an old Baba. So this is what's left, and there were times when Viren would say, I miss Mummy. This video is on YouTube, so he'll go on YouTube and he'll watch it, he'll start laughing, he'll smiling, he'll carry on watching it, then he'll get emotional. Because for him, and he said on so many occasions, what does Mummy look like? I don't know what she looks like anymore. It's been 5 years. 5 years it's been. But I'm not going to end this on a downer. I'm going to end it on a high, because you need to persevere. You need to carry on. You know, never ever give up. Because if I'd given up, if I didn't share my story, I don't know where I'd be. Honestly, I don't know where I'd be. I probably wouldn't even be here. Kids would probably be orphans, and that's the truth. But because I didn't give up, you know, I have remarried again. And I got a lot of hate for it, but it's just one of them things. Don't listen to the noise. Now you can see how happy all the children are that they've got that motherly figure. We've got that stability. They're getting love from both parents. And right now, life is wonderful. Life is so, so good. And we've even got a big old dog as well, just to add to our big family. You know, we're a family of 8. So life is very, very good right now. But I just wanted to share my story, what I've been through, my journey, and I just hope that it can actually help some of you or all of you. If I've said anything wrong, please, maaf karna, please. Waheguru ji ka khalsa, Waheguru ji ki fateh.